What's up YouTube? Now today I'm going to be doing a full takedown of my luger. I'm going to take pretty much 99% of this apart. Unlike other videos which I've seen, most of them just sort of do a brief field strip, but I'm going to take everything apart. Everything that I can get apart is coming apart in this video, so keep watching. Okay, I'm going to start by holding it open. I'm going to remove the magazine. I'm not going to go into the magazine on this video, I'm going to do a separate video on the magazine, so if you want to know how to take the magazine apart, check out my other video. Okay, so I'm going to start by sliding this down and taking the side plate off. The side plate actually has a couple of parts in it itself, so I'm going to pull that down and zoom in on it, and you can see how to take the side plate apart. Okay, so what you got to do is, it's actually easier if you have a knife, so I'm going to use a knife to sort of get it underneath this pin and lift it out. Lift it all the way out, and then using the screwdriver attachment, I'll just zoom in so you can see. So basically all I've done is slid this pin all the way over. Now you can see the pin enters here, so all you need to do is push this down. It doesn't take too much force, but then it should just slide out. So there's that out, and then this section will slide out nice and easily, and that is the side plate fully taken apart, and there's a serial number stamped on the side which is 21, also the First World War German markings there. So there's the side plate apart. I can zoom out and go back to the pistol. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is slide the lock out. This just pulls out like so. There's nothing else that comes apart on that, so that can be put to one side. And then the trigger, which just pops out, and that's it for the trigger. Okay, the magazine has already been taken out, so I can now pull this down and close it. This enables me to slide it out. So there's the bottom half of the gun, which I'll put to one side, and now we have the second half of the gun, which is the main firing mechanism. Now this can still fire, so these are the sears, so if I actually press in the sear, it will fire because I obviously cocked it to get it apart. There you go. That takes away all pressure in the toggle, so this pin now will easily drop out. As seen, I can go to one side and the toggle can be slid apart. Okay, there's not a massive amount that comes apart in the toggle that I'm going to take apart, but the firing pin is one of them. You just put your finger in here and slide it all the way to there, to this little groove. And obviously you have the components of the firing pin there, all still nicely marked with the same serial number of 21. So that can be put to one side, and that is, I'm going to then take apart this section, which is actually the indicator for when the gun is loaded and slides up when you would have a round in the chamber. Now I'm going to use a seal pick for this. I'm going to press in this little pin all the way. As you see, it's coming out the other end. I'm going to keep my finger on the top and push the pin out. There's the pin, and obviously you can see straight through there then. Now you got to watch out because there's a spring inside here, which if you just push the pin out without holding it, it would spring away. That pin should just drop out. There's the pin, the spring even, and there is the component. So there's that's apart, and there's the toggle that I'm going to take it apart. I'm not going to take it apart any further than that. You could obviously take this section apart and obviously these sections apart, but I'm not going to, as they are not important and it's not very hard to take that apart. So I'm going back to the barrel now. I'm going to take the sears apart. So I'm going to zoom in to show you how to take the sears. So you got to press in there to make them curve up, and then you can see the little hook. If it will focus, there's a little hook on this one here. You want to take the screwdriver edge, jam it in the hook, and then slide. That drops out. It's just a little spring in there. That can be put to one side, and then the sears can be slid out, and that is matching numbers as well, 21. Okay, on the back there's another basically spring bar which you can just pop out like that, and that is the barrel as stripped down as it's going to get. Let's just take a look at the dating again. If I just zoom out, then it'll be easier to focus the camera. 1918, 1920, and obviously it's got the deactivation stamps along the barrel and various other manufacturer's codes, as well as the serial number 2921, and obviously it's been deactivated, so the barrel has got a rod down the middle of it and is welded up. And there is some more markings on the side there. It's mainly just manufacturer markings. Overall, nice good condition. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is go back to the bottom half of the gun. You can easily slide this part out, just pops out. And now I'm going to take the hand grips off. Bakelite hand grips, these are unmarked, but I believe they are original. They certainly seem original, and these are very simple to take apart. You just have to unscrew and lift off. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is push this little spring out here. It's quite easy to push out, and then I can drop the magazine release button out. Very simple, very simple. Just whilst I'm here, you can also see the serial number again on the front of the gun, which is 2921. You can just make that out there. Next, I'm going to take the safety mechanism off. You see the safety mark 21 again. Very easy to take apart. Inside here, you can just see there is a pin down here, and basically you just push that pin out. It does take a bit of pressure to get it moving. Yeah, as you can see, it's now moved a bit further down, and if you come to the bottom of the safety, you can see it sticking out there. So if you have a pair of pliers or something you can grip it with, you are able to grip and just pull it out, and that is the safety holding in pin. And then you can just take this part off. Very simple safety. And this next part just simply slides out. It is stamped 21 with the German manufacturer's markings, if it would focus. There we go. So that can be put to one side, and that is pretty much complete. There is only one more thing to take apart, and that is the recoil spring. Now this can be a real pain to get apart, and takes quite a lot of effort, and even more effort to get it back in. But we're going to take it apart. We're just going to take it. Let's see if we can get it out. And the best way of doing it is twist. But because it's under pressure, you have to be careful. because it can spring apart. But that's how you take the recoil spring apart, and that is the components up there. And then obviously you still have this part that's inside. All you need to do for that is just take a punch and push it in, and then using a seal pick to get in the groove, you can just push that pin out even further, and it will just fall out eventually. And then there's the recoil spring section. So if you actually grab the toggle, you can see the hooks on the back of the recoil spring holder. The bit of the toggle actually sits in there and pulls it out. So that's what holds the section of the toggle in place. Bit interesting. And then that is basically all the components of the luger, which looks like that when it's all together. That's all the pieces of a luger. So that's it for this taking apart video. I'm going to do another video which shows me putting everything back together. So if you want to see how to put the luger back together, please go and watch that video. Thank you for watching.